Alright, so what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is a quick little upgrade you guys can do. Not really upgrade, but repair. There was a TSB on this back in 2010 or something like that. But basically what we're going to do is this is where the negative strap on the battery meets the frame. And this is part of the issue on why the GC's got such a bad electrical system, is because it's got really bad grounds. So what we do is we actually remove the paint where this strap touches, alright, and that gives us a much larger metal-to-metal contact surface, and I'm gonna guide you guys through the process on how to do this correctly without damaging anything. So one of the tools you're going to need is you're going to need a Dremel, and you're going to need a polishing compound bit. And for those of you not familiar with Dremel bits, which I'm not particularly, it's blue, alright? And I'm going to mount the camera, and then we're going to look at how this is done. Alright, now first things first, we got to clean this metal up, okay? You don't need to do anything to prep the paint because the compound bit is going to deal with that. So you start with your Dremel, and on relatively medium speed, alright, now we line it up, and we see that we've got much better surface contact. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to, there's a layer of oxidization on here, and we're going to take that off. And this is the side that mounts to the chassis, so that's the side we're going to take off. Alright? Alright, so now that I got that done, you guys can see that it's nice and shiny. And I should let you know, you should be wearing a mask when you do this, because this is lead, and you don't want to be breathing in lead dust, okay? So we've got that all cleaned up. Alright, so that's a much better contacting surface. Now next on our list is some dielectric tune-up grease. Alright, and you don't want too much, but you don't want too little. And what dielectric grease does is it fills in, it acts kind of like an electrical gasket. Alright, it fills in the gaps in the whatever you're working on, and it prevents oxygen from forming between those gaps. And when you're working on electrical, what happens is you get corrosion or oxidization, and you don't want that. So we only need to put it on the one piece, but we're going to need a little bit extra, and I'll show you why in a second. Now remember, I was just saying that the dielectric grease fills in the gaps, right, to prevent oxidization. So instead of using a traditional thread sealant, you use a little bit of dielectric grease on these bolts. And what that does is it prevents oxidization or electrolysis of the metals in the bolt and the metals in the frame, which lowers the chance that they're going to corrode and bond to the frame permanently. So we got a little bit of grease on there. Put the bolt in. It also acts as a thread lubricant. And what that does is it allows the bolt to go in much easier and torque down a lot nicer as well. Now this went on with the 10 mil and it goes what comes off with the 10 mil and goes back on with the 10 mil. Alright, so you'll see a little bit of the grease is leaking out a bit, and that's perfectly fine. That's actually a good thing because that means it's moving it out of the way. So this is a quick way to get a little bit better ground between your frame and your battery, which is the way Hyundai designed it, the only ground return, and it makes sure that you get proper return signals and everything like that for all of your circuitry and your radio, and gets rid of some hum if you have any hum. Well, it can get rid of some hum. It depends on what's causing the hum. So that's just a quick little thing that you can do, and who knows, it might even save you from having to do the big three depending on your stereo system, because all you need is more ground, and there's really no point in actually doing the big three without going behind and taking out that paint. The dielectric grease will actually act as a sealant to prevent your frame from corroding in that particular spot as well. So water and everything won't get in the way, and you won't get any rust spots or anything like that from that. So you can actually go through pretty much your entire chassis, and wherever you find one of those ground straps, it's usually just a 10mm bolt on the Genesis. You remove the bolt, take a little bit of the paint away from where that little square contact pad is, and put some dielectric grease. Just follow these steps and you can do it to all of your ground straps in your vehicle, and you should be good to go.